I'm talking to Dorit at the Raw Food Vegan Festival. And Dorit, why is it that you're here? Because I hear you're all the way from California. Why are you promoting this show when there's so many, similar shows in the world for someone of your caliber to attend?
Because Toronto is one of my favorite cities in the world. Actually, of all the cities I've lived in, Toronto is one of my favorite. Also because Patty is one of the founders of the Toronto Raw Vegan Festival. I admire the work she does, and I want to support her.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so you are a living food chef, correct?
That's correct.
What does that mean for most people who are just into living foods?
That the food is actually very close to the way that nature intended it. It's just been changed slightly, modified slightly using the food processor or a blender or a juicer, but most of the enzymes are still intact and the nutrients are still intact. It's live food.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Dorit. Of course, I can ask you anything. But anyway, what's the difference between a living food chef and, say, a raw food chef?
Well, I believe that the raw food chef is an oxymoron because raw means the way it comes directly from the tree or from the earth. So an apple would be a raw food, and nature is the chef, not us. Living foods, we take the food that's raw and we make other creations such as lasagna and pasta and pizza. It's still alive, but it's not really in its raw, natural form anymore.
Great. Okay. I hear you're an author as well, and you've got a book that's just coming out right now.
Yes, this is my newest book. It's the same title as Celebrating Our Raw Nature, but the difference about it is that it's actually all living foods book. Nothing is cooked in it, and it's specifically seasonal. So there are recipes there for seasonal living, especially for winter.
So tell me, Dorit, what should we eat for this fall and winter here in the great whatever, up north, or the great north they call the Americans. Great north something, okay.
Well, one of the things that people should know is that they need to eat locally. Whatever grows right now here in the Ontario region is what people need to eat in the winters, which means most of the foods are actually root vegetables. A lot of greens are growing right now, like kale. That's the kind of stuff we should be eating. We should eat lentils, a lot more grains, all of them put germinated, because that means that the enzymes are formed and you can digest it much quicker and easier.
Okay. What other types of foods should someone be aware of that we can do here at home in Canada or in Toronto during the fall and the winter?
Well, one of the things you need to know is that you should use a lot of spices in the winter. All of the heating spices such as cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, ginger, peppers.
Cayenne?
Yes, all the peppers.
That makes sense to warm the body up, yeah.
Yes, and also people can actually warm the food in the dehydrator or in a slow cooker as well.
Do you talk about that in your book?
Yes, in this book, the first book, which is a transitioning book, I do speak about how to transition gradually, and I strongly recommend it for a slow cooker.
Excellent. Now, I hear you also have some things on DVD. Beyond Raw, or would this be also Beyond Living Foods, or The Living Chef, or what?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's about teaching us that raw doesn't mean the food only. That we need to become raw ourselves in our own lives, because we cannot expect the food to do everything for us. We have to also raise our own vibrational energy to meet the high vibrational energy of raw and living foods.
I see. Wow, a lot of stuff here to take in. On that note, what's your website?
My website is serenityspaces.org. Why Serenity? Because this food brings us back to the serene spaces inside ourselves, which is why it's called serenityspaces.org.
Thank you. Can you spell that out?
SERENITYSPACES.org.
You heard that from Dorit herself. Thank you so much, the living food chef, all the way from California.
Thank you, Marcus.